Hi there, students. To parse. Now, as a Brit, I say parse, but I've noticed that some Americans will say to parse with an S sound, but for me, it's a parse. Okay, to parse is to take a sentence and divide it into the different grammatical parts and identify each of them and explain the relation between each other. So if you want to parse a sentence, you say this is the subject, this is the verb, this is an auxiliary verb, this is the direct object, this is the indirect object. This is parsing a sentence. It's separating a sentence into its different grammatical bits and analysing it. Now, I find it quite interesting because when I was at school, we never used to do this. I didn't discover parsing sentences until I saw my kids go to school in Spain. And parsing sentences is a really good way to understand what's happening within a sentence, to understand what's happening grammatically. And parsing sentences in English is quite good. So in this case, a person parses a sentence. Okay, a sentence parses. I think probably a person parses a sentence. Then we can also use this verb to parse, meaning to examine minutely, to analyze critically. So I'm trying to parse why the market is acting in this way. I'm trying to parse why the market share of the company is decreasing. So I'm examining it and I'm trying to find out why this is happening. To parse, to analyze something. Okay, so to parse, to analyze the elements of a sentence, to analyze a legal contract. Yeah, if you read a legal contract, it's very important to parse it because like that, you know what's going on. But you can use this in a wider sense, just talking about to analyze, to examine something, to study, to discover all of the essential bits, to discover all of the features. Now, you can also use this word parse in computer programming. And to parse is to examine a program to make sure that it is syntactically correct before you break it down and try to turn it into machine language. You're checking that the syntax, that it's written correctly. So it's to examine it and to make sure it's all correct. So to parse, to understand something. So from the top again, to parse a sentence, to split it into the different grammatical bits and subject, verb, object, preposition, etc. In computer language, to analyze a program or a piece of programming to make sure that it's grammatically correct, that its syntax is okay. And then to parse something, to examine something carefully, to understand everything about it. So the fire brigade are trying to parse the reasons why the fire started. To parse, to understand something. This it was not easy to understand what had happened, what was happening, and I had to parse it for some time before I actually knew what was going on. I had to parse the statement that the Prime Minister made in order to understand it clearly. Okay, so to parse, to resolve into its different elements, to examine closely, to scrutinize, to resolve a piece of computing into its elements to make sure it conforms, make sure it's syntactically valid. Okay, and this is to parse. Now, formality, to parse a sentence. I think 6.5 in formality. To parse what's going on, 6.5 in formality. Using a semi-formal conversation, semi-formal writing. To parse a piece of code, I think I would probably give that a 5.5 or even a 5 in formality. So I would say that you could use it more or less anywhere. Okay, and then to the origin. Okay, so this comes from parts, different parts of speech. So you're breaking it into little parts. Parse in Latin, a piece, a small piece. To break it down into little pieces. Pars orationis in Latin, parts of speech, and that's effectively what you're doing. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. To parse.